Hello comrades, it's Captain Communist here, and today I'm going to explain to you all why I support the DPRK. The 27th of July 1953 was the day in which the United States signed an armistice with the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. This day is very special to the people of the DPRK because it is the day of the DPRK's victory against the imperialists. On the 27th of July 1953, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea emerged victorious in the Korean War. When the United States unleashed the Korean War in 1950, few believed that it would end with the defeat of the United States, that had emerged as an imperialist superpower. Nobody believed that such a young country would smash the United States. The USA predicted that it would win the Korean War within 72 hours. But they miscalculated. As the war prolonged, the United States was struggling to win and would not back down. The United States had deployed 2 million troops in Korea, using 1/3 of its ground force, 1/5 of its air force, and most of its Pacific fleet. It wasn't just US troops who were fighting in the Korean War. There were also 15 other nations fighting alongside the United States, which included Australia, Britain, and of course, South Korea. However, the Korean People's Army and the people of the DPRK, led by Kim Il-sung, had drove the United States into a corner. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, although very small it was, managed to defeat the United States and its 15 satellite states. The United States, however, continues to occupy South Korea and threaten the DPRK. One typical example of this was the US spy ship Pueblo. To recover the troops manning the Pueblo warship, the United States admitted its guilt and promised to never intrude into DPRK waters in the future. US President Lyndon Johnson regretted this first US colonial apology. The people of the DPRK live happily, but ever since the collapse of the Soviet Union, they had a very difficult period because their trade relations were with the Soviet Union and, of course, China. Since then, a huge amount of their trade has been interrupted, and they are sanctioned by all of the imperialist countries. Their banking is hindered, their trade is hindered, and they have to deal with all that, whilst they are being threatened by US imperialism from South Korea. The people of the DPRK also had a very difficult time due to bad harvests and bad weather conditions. But the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is a socialist country. It's a bit like a family. If there is a shortage of food in your family, one person gorging and the rest starving is not the case. In fact, they just go with what they have and share it. So yes, the people of the DPRK may not have as much food as they would like to, but nobody's allowed to starve. It is said that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is such an isolated country. But that is just a pure lie to fool you, because the DPRK has relations with lots of countries. If you're in Pyongyang, every day foreign delegations from other countries are going in and out. It is also said that the United States is afraid of the DPRK because they have nuclear weapons. First of all, the United States has no reason to be afraid of anyone having nuclear weapons, due to the fact that the USA has the largest nuclear arsenal in the world, and they want to use their nuclear weapons as a method of intimidation. Other countries, such as the DPRK, actually have nuclear weapons as a mode of defence, because the former Secretary of State under Bill Clinton said Iraq was invaded because Iraq has no nuclear weapons. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea is not being invaded because it has nuclear weapons. It's not as if the DPRK's government loves spending money on nuclear weapons. They are doing this to safeguard their social systems and their sovereignty against the US imperialists. The United States threatened war against the Democratic People's Republic of Korea in April 2017, and the DPRK continues to stand against US imperialism by developing its economy and its military simultaneously. I am standing shoulder to shoulder with the people of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea against US imperialism. Let's show the DPRK, by flying the red flag high, that we refuse to let them fall for US blackmail.